Well, hello everybody on this Thursday as we are preparing for another storm. Winter weather advisories across the metro, winter storm warnings in pink to the south, and blizzard warnings for our west, central, and southwestern parts of the state where the wind is really going to be a problem along with blowing snow, so visibility issues there. And we may be upgraded to a winter storm warning throughout the day today because we are going to be looking at quite a bit of snowfall, ticking those totals up slightly. Now, during the day today, we're looking at some rain, some mix this morning, up to an inch or two of snow through the afternoon. And then after dark, about 3 to 4 inches of snow overnight. So that's going to be the heaviest snowfall period, will be the overnight tonight. And then an additional 1 to 3 inches during the day tomorrow, and windy later today into tomorrow too. So here's the system. You can see the upper level low kind of spinning here off to the west, and then that plume of moisture being absorbed into the system. And if you watched my weather video from last night, we talked about how this system is what we call a negative tilt, which means it's basically kind of moving backwards on itself, and that can be a very efficient snowfall producer for us because it sort of traps that moisture on the cold side of the storm and flings it back at us. You can almost see that here in the snowfall on this particular model. It just sort of gets flung in from the east to the southwest right at us. And if you're right lined up in that band, it can really add up. And it looks like that'll be pointing, that finger will be pointing across south central Minnesota, maybe just south of the Twin Cities. So here's the evening hours. Again, lighter snow showers, heavier to the south, and then overnight, you can see that dark blue. These are the heavier bands of snow, half inch, maybe some 1 inch per hour snowfall rates. And again, notice that finger kind of pointing at us into south central Minnesota. So that's where we're going to see the heaviest snowfall amounts really add up here. Winds picking up too, as I mentioned, by the end of the day today and overnight, 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts. So you're going to hear that. But western Minnesota in yellow, these are over 50 mile per hour wind gusts. So that's why we're expecting that potential for blizzard conditions heading into late today into tomorrow here across the southwestern part of the state. But as I mentioned yesterday too, temperatures are going to be hovering right around freezing here, which is good news for the roads. Treated surfaces will be mainly wet or slushy at times. Tonight you could get snow covered and slushy, but we're not going to get that compacted ice like we had with that pre-Christmas storm because temperatures aren't going to plummet. In fact, we may not be well enough below freezing until later in the day on Saturday. So here's one particular model, one of our shorter term models. Again, notice the bullseyes to the south. So about a half foot for the Twin Cities, but more than 8 inches potentially for southern Minnesota. European model remains more conservative, still a half foot for us, and a little bit of a bullseye further to the south. And the NAM model, the North American model, is the most aggressive because it is pushing out the most precipitation or water equivalent. And that's where we're seeing over 8 to 10 inches of snow for some spots here, again, in that south central part of the state, with the metro just north of that heaviest snow. As I mentioned, temperatures stay in the 30s mostly, right until early Saturdays when we'll finally drop below freezing. We'll have some flurries, light snow showers kind of through the weekend. That's what happens with these negatively tilted systems. They just sort of linger, at least clouds and some light snow showers, and then cooler but not brutal cold yet next week. And I've talked about maybe some of my suspicions for that, but we'll get to that when we get to that. For now, bracing for snow today into the next couple of days.